Hello and good evening to everyone who are currently viewing our review for numerical reasoning. This is our fourth session for numerical reasoning. Sa lahat po nandito ngayong gabi, paki-share po ng location ninyo kung from where you are reviewing for tonight. So we have from Cotabato City. Welcome back, MM. Ayan. And I have a few commenters here already since nag-umpisa tayo, Elaine and Katrina. Pa-share po ng location ninyo for tonight as we are going to start in a few minutes. Maghintay lang po tayo saglit for everyone to settle in. In preparation for our review, I recommend na mag-prepare po kayo ng scratch paper with you and hopefully kung may time kayo ay naumpisa ninyong sagutan yung items na binigay natin in advance, right? Hello po sa mga from Zamboanga, from Camarines Sur, and Batangas. Reminder po ulit for those who are viewing from YouTube, please check the settings sa YouTube and make sure na yung pag-view po ninyo ay naka-high settings. Minsan po kasi automatically mababa yung settings ng viewing natin from YouTube. So magwa-wonder kayo bakit parang blurred yung ating slides. So paki-double check and make sure that you are set on the highest viewing settings if you are viewing from YouTube. From Camiguin Island. Camiguin is ito pa yung malapit yata sa tawag dito, Cagayan, right? Napadaan lang kami dyan nung nakaraan pero hindi kami naka-visit sa island po ninyo. Ayan. So I think meron na ba tayong representatives from lahat ng regions? At least from the three main islands. Ayan. From North Cotabato. Okay, Kidapawan. Good evening po sa inyong lahat. And Misamis. Okay. Si Marie was also with us last night. Of course, Maria from Negros Oriental was with us from last night din. And then, from Tawi-Tawi, parang ang dami nating participants from the Mindanao area. Ito rin, from Basilan, okay? So, I was in Bukidnon a couple of weeks ago. Batangas and South Cotabato. Yeah, ang daming from Mindanao. Yes, so for tonight po, ang gagawin po natin, numerical reasoning na review, ay mag-uumpisa po tayo doon sa last 10 items na naisama ko sa advanced items na binigay ko for last night sana. I gave out kasi 50 items, pero 40 items lang po yung na-discuss natin. Kasi yung standard po naman talaga na kayang na-discuss parang 40 items lang po. So we will begin with the last 10 items that we weren't included in last night's review. And then I added 30 new topics. For these 30 new topics, so special topics tayo, I mainly included a lot about radicals. Kasi yung radicals kailangan nating i-review. It was mentioned also by one of our past takers. Nung nitong taon lang na nakapasa sa may civil service, sabi niya, it was Sir Simon. Makikita niyo po yung post sa kanya in Facebook ng group natin, isa siya sa mga recent passers natin. He did say na merong lumabas na mga radicals and the decimals, mga ganon. So, we will be focusing on that. And also, some special word problems. I hope po na pag nakakuha na po kayo ng exam, you could also feedback pabalik sa amin ng mga coaches ninyo kung ano po yung mga common na lumalabas na items because this could help future reviewers pag naku-curate namin yung exam and namomodify namin to suit kung ano yung lumalabas sa civil service examination. There is a trend kung anong pinapalabas na items sa civil service, pero minsan kasi there are specific problems na mahilig silang inuulit-ulit. And also, if you are part of our review, you would get the benefit of viewing some items na inuulit nila. Like literally the same exact item inuulit across the years. So, you get that benefit if you're part of the review. For those of you who are part talaga ng ating civil service review group, then you get access to 2 hours of review and also advanced copy of the items. And not only advanced copy of the items, makakakuha rin po kayo ng review materials natin kung ano po yung discussion natin. With all of my notes, you would be able to access that. But if you are free viewing lang po for tonight, whether in Facebook or YouTube, then you would have access to 1 hour lang po ng viewing. And hindi po ninyo makukuha yung second half. So if you want to have full access with our review, not only for this topic, but also in different subdivisions of your civil service examination, then I suggest you message us directly in our Facebook group, Gurong Pinoy, in order for you to become a member of our civil service examination review. Ayan. So, hello po ulit from Tawi-Tawi, South Cotabato, and Jensan. Ayan. Yeah, ang daming from Mindanao area. So for tonight, ito lang po, just a brief review muna of our schedule. So we already had 2 sessions on diagnostic exam. Tapos nung kagabi lang, wow, hello, Fatty NB. Nakapasa from Zamboanga City. Congratulations for passing last August 20. Pag may time po kayo at pag may naalala po kayong items, pwedeng-pwede niyo pong i-message sa akin para po makatulong sa ating future examiners. Ayan. So, tapos na po tayo dito sa November 4. Parang liit, sandali. November 4. And then last night, we covered fractions and a few other topics na medyo particular. Nag-focus tayo sa fractions and a bit on decimals. And for tonight, as mentioned, yung main focus natin ay doon tayo sa may radicals and some word problems that have been noted na medyo maraming lumabas noong nakaraang civil service examination. Ayan. So, let us cover here. So, usually yung binibigay ko pong items ay I am showing you a mix of items na multiple choice tsaka items na wala pang multiple choice. So, pag multiple choice, usually I do that sa items na na-discuss na natin in detail. So, that means meron na, parang confident na ako na kaya nyo nang sagutin. And even you would master the concept, kumbaga. Pero for some concepts, especially for ones na ini-introduce ko pa lang, I prefer really not putting yung options para mako-convince talaga kayo na you have to try solving and figuring out the solution on your own. As mentioned, the first few sessions are opportunities for you to really figure out the process and methods that work for you. Yun po yung main goal natin in our first few sessions. So kung medyo na-master na po natin yung concept, pwede na po kayong mag-multiple choice para diskartehan na lang yung solution. So our first few sets here are concepts on percentage rate and base. I am putting here some options kasi po na-discuss na natin ito during diagnostic test. So ayan, if you know the answer to the questions, please type the item number 1 and then add kung ano po yung option number niyo. Is it option 1, option 2, option 3, or option 4? So we already have one answer here. Can we have more? May isa na po nakapag-share ng answer. Ayan, dalawa na. From Rahima. And yung isang Facebook user natin, pasensya po, pero hindi po lumalabas yung pangalan ninyo dito sa aking StreamYard at the moment. We also have VJ and Maria and EJ. Parang pare-pareho po yung answers natin. So I believe medyo na-master na natin yung concept na ito. And our concept here is of course, meron po tayong percentage, base, and rate. So when you are covering, tawag dito, percentage, usually you have P, B, R. Let's identify some of the aspects here. First, para sure tayo na tama po yung ina-identify natin. So first and foremost, what is the sale price of a laptop worth? Ito po yung worth niya. So, and you're looking for the sale price. So ito po yung worth niya, which means this is our starting point. This has to be our base. And then another key phrase here is 5% discount. Based on the format, this is definitely your rate. So what means what we are looking for will have to be your sale price, which will be your percentage or portion, right? Portion of the base. So how do we get this? Based on our triangle here above, your P should be equal to base times rate, which is 42,000 times 0.05. Of course, alam po natin na magka-cancel lang tayo ng dalawang decimal dito at mag-move ito. So that's 420 times 5 and you do end up with option 4, 39,900. Ayan, so madali lang, right? Let's take a look at the second item. This is still percentage base rate. Medyo nagfo-focus po muna ako ng mga similar types of items to ensure mastery muna of the concept bago natin siya i-mix during the mock exam. So mastery muna tayo ng concepts. So a handbag is priced at $200 and is sold at $160. How much is the percentage discount? I'm not sure if yung answers ni na Jane at Gisette ay based na sa item number 2 or baka item number 1 pa rin. So yeah, I recommend na please do type yung item number na rin po para sure ako kung ano yung sinasagutan ninyo. Okay? So ayan, Maria. Okay, I assume that's number 1 kasi nag-iba yung answers natin sa item 2. Maria, Edsel, and VJ have posted their answers. So ano po ba yung hinahanap natin? What we have here currently is that you have priced at $200. So yun yung original price mo. That has to be your base. And then, binenta siya at $160. Pero yung hinahanap natin is percentage discount. So, hindi 160 yung portion na hinahanap natin. Yung portion na hinahanap natin will have to be 200 minus 160. Kasi 160 yung pagbenta, 200 yung original. So ano yung discount? Yung binawas mo doon sa original price, it has to be $40. So ano ngayon yung hinahanap natin? What we're looking for is the percentage discount. Yung discount which is in rate, naka-R po siya. Dahil percent po yung options natin. So R is based sa ating triangle, that's P over B. So ano po siya? Yung P natin is portion of a whole that we're looking for is 40. And then we are over 200. Cancel na lang po natin yung decimal. That means 4 over 20. Or this is equal to 0.02 or in percent form is 20%. Ayan. Okay. All good ba lang tayo so far? Medyo madali pa. Let's have more items of that. This is to ensure mastery of the concept bago natin i-mix with different types. Para kahit anong mix ni civil service exam sa different types of exams, kung na-master ninyo during review, then medyo confident tayo na okay lang. So how about item 3? So, item number 3, we have answers from Hazel, VJ, Edsel. Ayan, parang ang dami natin ng same answer siya. So, what percent of 110 is 555? So, just to show the process, hinahanap natin ay rate. Naghahanap tayo ng rate. Given po sa atin is of 100. Of is always a keyword for your base. Is 55. It's a small portion of your base. So, your P is equal to base over rate. Hinahanap pala natin is rate. So, R is equal to P over B. P is 55 over 110. Obviously, 55 is kalahati lang naman ng 110. So, this means that what we're looking for is 50%. Ayan. So, that was easy. Let's take another one. So, parang ang confident na ng mga sumasagot for tonight, which is good. I hope that as we go on, you are getting more confident in answering the items doon sa ating civil service examination dito sa review. It means that you would have better chances then of really doing well in the exam. So habang tumatagal, let's get that confidence up. And how do you get your confidence up? Improve your skills and practice a lot, right? So how about item number 4? Ano po yung answer natin dito? Patrick needed a new laptop for school. Hello, Sir Otep! So item number 4, we have Edsel, may answer na. And then Maria. Edwin, ayan. So let's take a look at how you're answering item number 4. So Patrick needed a new laptop for school, but the cost of the particular brand and model that he liked increased from 25,000 to 32,500. How much was the increase in percentage? So what we're looking for is identify muna natin yung mga needed items natin. First and foremost, ano yung original price which will serve as your base. So from 25,000, this has to be your original price. So this should be your base. And then from that, nag-increase siya to 32,500. That is not our portion or our percentage, right? So ang percentage natin is nag-increase siya from 25,000 to 32,500. So we have to subtract para makuha natin kung ilan lang yung tinaas ng presyo niya. So this will be 7,500. That will be your portion. What we are looking for is your rate dahil obviously, yung hinahanap po natin ay naka-percentage yung choices. So, R is equal to percentage over base. Ayan po. So, ano yung given dito? Your P is 7,500 over 25,000. Let's remove the unnecessary zeros na pwedeng i-cancel. So, that's just 75 over 250. Ano po yung answers natin dito? So your answer here is going to be 0.3 or in decimal form, that's going to be, or in percentage form, 30%. Ayan, marami po yung nakakuha ng correct answer, which is great. Now let's take a look at the next set. Medyo master na po yata natin yung percentage na po. So let's have a few sets of other items. Let's have this one. Wala na po muna itong choice or options because these types of problems would require a bit of mastery or familiarity doon sa methods. So, wala mo ng choices. Para po ma-practice muna ninyo ang pag-learn kung paano siya isolve. So, can you give me the exact answer for this item? Dito hirap. Kaya nga natin pagpa-practicean, Ma'am Grace. Kasi na-identify na natin na medyo difficulty natin siya, so medyo extra effort din tayo. For item number 5, I'll give you a few moments muna to think. Huwag ma-stress. Kaya natin yung hanapan ng paraan. Okay, so let me show you muna this one para hindi tayo ma-stress. Pakita ko muna yung unang-una. So, what we have here is Brenda, who is 4 years older than Walter, then Carol, who is twice as old as Brenda. So, meron kayong tatlong tao involved. So, usually when nag-involve tayo ng word problems, yung hinahanap ko is kung sino-sino yung mga characters involved, tsaka ano yung time frame. So, yun po yung key nating hahanapin. Let's start with the people involved. We have Brenda, Walter, and Carol. So, let's write down their names. We have Brenda, Walter, at saka si Carol. Yun po yung una kong ina-identify. Next, let's identify the time frame involved. Ano po ba yung time factor dito? So, meron tayong 3 years ago and then now. Let's record those times. So, kung yung characters natin ay naka-vertical yung arrange, yung time gawin natin siyang horizontal. Sandali, move po muna ito saglit para may space tayo. So, we have, ano nga yung time frames natin? Meron tayong now, and meron din tayong 3 years ago. Ayan. So, let's take a look now at the given items. Ayan, may answer na si Edsel. Let's see if tama siya. So, let's review. Brenda, yung first statement dito, Brenda is, ay parang ang liit. Brenda is 4 years older than Walter. So, ibig sabihin, si Brenda ay plus 4 ng edad ni Walter. So, hindi natin alam yung edad ni Walter, pero alam natin na Brenda is 4 years older than Walter. So, let's say Walter is W muna kasi hindi pa natin alam. So, Brenda is 4 years older. So, magpa-plus 4 tayo. May isa pa tayong given dito na situation. We also know that Carol is twice as old as Brenda. Yung edad ni Carol, dalawang Brenda. So, yung edad ni Carol, dalawang Brenda. Dalawang Brenda. Pero alam natin na yung Brenda natin dito is W plus 4. Right? Kasi Brenda is W plus 4 eh. Which means that Carol now is 2W plus 8. Or kahit 2W plus 4 muna. Yun yung mga given natin. Identify muna yung given. Now, let's have another given here. Your situation says that 3 years ago, the sum of their ages was 35. Ano ba yung edad nila 3 years ago? So, ano yung edad ni Brenda 3 years ago? Kung ngayon, Brenda is W plus 4, then 3 years ago, magbabawas tayo ng tatlo. Brenda would have to be W plus 1. Kasi 'di ba, yung plus 4 bawasan ng tatlo. Si Walter, bawasan din natin ng tatlo. So, Walter minus 3 years is W minus 3. At si Carol, bawasan din natin ng 3. So, Carol is 2W plus 8, bawasan ng 3. That will be 2W plus 5. Ito ay dahil may 3 years ago tayo. That's why we have to sort the 3 years ago. Now, anong gagawin natin? Yung final thing na kailangan nating i-consider is that the sum of their ages was 35 nung 3 years ago. So, yung gagamitin natin is 3 years ago, i-combine natin, and that should give us 35. Ano ba yung 3 years ago? W plus 1, W minus 3, at 2W plus 5. This should give us 35. Okay, let's take a look now at what should be done. Simplify now. So you have W plus 1 plus, pinalabas ko lang sa parentheses, plus 2W plus 5 equals 35. And then what? Uunahin ko muna yung lahat ng may, tawag dito, lahat ng may W or lahat ng may variables. So unahin ko muna si, I want to start with this. Ilan ba yung W ko dito? Isa, dalawa, plus 2. So that would be 4. I would have 4W. Tapos, ilan ba yung aking numerical values? Meron akong plus 1, minus 3, tsaka plus 5. Ano yan? Plus 1, minus 3, plus 5. That will be plus 3 na lang kung i-combine ko yan sila lahat. And then, equals 35. Now that I have this, what am I supposed to do? Yung dapat ko pong gawin ay isolate ko yung may variable on one side, yung walang variable, lipat ko sa kabila. So I would have 4W on one side. Tapos sa kabila is si 35, and then ilipat ko tong si 3. Si plus 3 magiging minus 3 on the other side, which means 4W is now 32. And now that I have this, para ma-isolate ko further si W, dapat i-divide ko both sides by 4, which should give me something. What value is that? Sandali, let's move yung extra item natin na nakapost dito. Ano na ngayon yung magiging answer natin for the ages? This means that now, dito ko po ilalagay yung final answer ko sa taas. Walter will have to be, as Eleanor is saying, 8. And ito rin yung binigay na answer kanina pa ni Edsel. So, ilan na ngayon yung age ni Brenda? How old is Brenda now? If Walter is 8, Brenda is currently plus 4 lang naman siya ni Walter. So she will have to be 12. And then Carol, ano ba si Carol? Carol is twice as old as Brenda. So dalawang Brenda, that is 24. So tama po yung answer na binigay ni Edsel kanina. Ayan. So I did begin with a problem na medyo marami yung factors para po pwede ninyong matingnan at makover. Hopefully when you see more items later ay mas dadali na po siya. Okay? So let's try other items now. Hopefully you got that. So ano po yung uunahin natin? Yung characters involved. Nakahilera po silang ganyan, vertically. Tapos yung time frame, kung meron man, nakahilera din po sila horizontally. And then you try to analyze line by line, phrase by phrase. Let's try eto. Dalawa lang po yung taong involved. Dalawa rin po yung time frame. So can you try solving that? Okay, let's begin with a few of the aspects muna na pwede natin kunin. So I'm sure you've already identified that your characters here are dalawa lang naman. You have Paula and Queenie. So let me write down those names. Lagyan natin ng konti para medyo makita nyo naman. Ayan. So we only have two characters involved in the situation, si Paula and Queenie. And then yung time frame na dapat natin i-consider would be what? Yung time frames natin are 7 years ago and then now. So usually hindi po talaga nawawala yung now. So we have now and then 7 years ago. Important po na malaman natin yung time frame if it's moving backward or moving forward. Kasi if moving backward, magsasubtract kayo. If moving forward, mag-a-add kayo. So you have to get that right. So let's have this now. O, ayan na po, yung ating mga characters and time frames involved. Ayan, Edsel already has an answer. Now, let's take a look at the given situation here. So, una pong naibigay dito, Paula is twice as old as Queenie. So, si Paula, yung twice as old as Queenie. So, you have, the situation here is, let me write this down para mas klaro. Paula is, pag may nakita po kayong equal sign automatic, that's automatic equal sign, is dalawang beses as old as Queenie. So, your P is dalawang Queenie. So, si Queenie, hindi rin natin alam, let that be Q. Tapos ngayon, 7 years ago. So, gawin natin yung 7 years ago. Ano ba yung 7 years ago? 7 years ago, magbabawas lang tayo ng 7. Ito nga po pala, yung key item po natin. Whenever you are trying to solve things like these, yung last item po, huli niyo po ito gagawin. To establish the situation, assess the now, and then use the time frame. Huwag po muna ninyong isipin yung mga the sum of. Later na po yan. Once na-establish na po ninyo yung time frame, dun na lang po ninyo gawin yung last na equation. So what should we do now? Gawin na natin yung the sum of their ages is or was 16. So kung idadagdag daw natin yung or i-combine daw natin yung 2q minus 7 at saka yung q minus 7, ito daw ay magiging 16. So let's take a look at that. So combine lahat ng merong Q. This will be 2Q and Q. That should give me 3Q. Tapos, i-combine ko rin yung lahat ng walang variables. That's minus 7 and minus 7. So, this should give me minus 14. And then, copy ko lang yung isang item dito, yung equals 16. What do I do next? Isolate ko po yung my variable. Yung my variable nasa isang side, that should be 3Q. Tapos yung sa kabilang side is your 16. At saka ililipat natin tong isang to para ma-isolate si Q. So dahil nilipat natin siya, mag-change din siya ng sign. Whenever you transfer something, you change the sign. This means that your 3Q now will be 30. Divide both sides by 10 or by 3 rather. Then you will get an answer that Q is 10. Ano ba yung hanap natin? How old is Queenie? That's Q. So the answer here is indeed 10 years old si Queenie. That's the answer that we are looking for. It seems that quite a few of you already were able to get the solution dito without my prompting. So let's hope na kaya natin gawin yan consistently. More items po. This time around, this is more of dimensions. Perimeter. So, nagbibigay po ako ngayon. This is more on word problems dahil medyo ito po yung mga tricky i-solve during the actual civil service examination. So, magbigay tayo ng more examples. This time, it's on dimension. How many meters of fencing are needed to enclose an 84-meter by 48-meter rectangular garden? Anong dimension yung hanap natin dito? How many meters of fencing are needed to enclose an 84-meter by 48-meter rectangular garden? Allow me to underline some key phrases while you're trying to solve. To enclose, rectangular. So those should be your guides kung paano natin siya i-solve. I'll give you a minute or so to solve. May sagot na po ba tayo? How many meters do you think ang kailangan natin to enclose 84 meters by 48 meters? Okay? So what we have here is a rectangular garden. So kung rectangular garden, tapos yung kailangan natin gagawin ay i-enclose. Pag nag-e-enclose po kayo, that means that you're dealing with perimeter. Kapag perimeter po kasi nakapalibot lang sa space. Yung area po ay yung nasa loob. So dahil gusto natin i-enclose, so palibot lang tayo doon sa may space natin. So what we need to look for is the equation for your perimeter of the shape na rectangle. Perimeter of a rectangle. So the perimeter of a rectangle, if you could still recall the equation that I showed you a while ago, you can either use 2L plus 2W or 2 times L plus W. This or 2L plus 2W, whichever suits you better. Kung ano po yung mas komportable sa inyo gamitin, yun po yung gamitin ninyo. They both should give you the same solution anyway. Now, identify your given. Ano ba yung given items natin dito? What you have is 84 meter by 48 meter. These two are your dimensions. It doesn't matter kung ipag-swap ninyo. Okay? Doesn't matter. Basta, those two are your dimensions. So this will have to be, say, your length and then your width. So what happens here is, solve po natin siya completely. Dalawang length plus width. So this should give us dalawang 132 or yung hinahanap po natin na solution is 264. Don't forget your units, meters. So this should be 264 meters. Ito po yung common error. Kapag nag-involve po tayo ng perimeter, Lalo na pag mga rectangle ganyan, don't forget to multiply it by 2. Kasi nakapalibot po dapat. Kapag yung rectangle niyo po kasi ganyan. So, kumbaga, ito na po yung 48, ito po yung 84. So, kung nag-add lang po kayo ng dalawang sides lang yung may cover. Yung other two sides, wala pong cover. So, dapat, don't forget to multiply by 2. So, the fastest way to solve this is just add them and then multiply by 2. Ayan. Now, let's take a look at your next item. I think na-master na natin yan. This time, perimeter pa rin naman siya. As mentioned, pero involved na ngayon ay isang triangle. So, madali lang naman po yung perimeter ng triangle. Let me just write the equation to aid you later. The perimeter of a triangle is simply just add all the sides. Side 1 plus side 2 plus side 3. Just add them all. Yun lang po yun. So what do you think is the length of the shortest side? Let's attack this line by line, phrase by phrase. Okay. One side of the triangle is 3 centimeters longer than the shortest side. So yung isa daw po na side ng triangle, let's call that, doesn't matter which side that is. Basta yung side po na ito ay 3 centimeters longer. So plus 3 siya kumpara sa shortest side. Let's call the shortest side S. And then the other side, ano yung other side natin? We have another side daw. The other side is 4 centimeters longer than the shortest side. So meron tayong isa pang side. And that this time, plus 4 siya kumpara sa shortest side. We need 3 sides, di po ba? So, paano natin makukuha yan? So, let's have, yung first side natin is S plus 3. Plus yung second side natin is S plus 4. Plus yung third side natin, yung shortest side, that's S. That's equal to your perimeter, which happens to be 67 centimeters. So, paano yan? May answer ni si Maria. So, all of your S's, isa, dalawa, tatlo. Tatlong S. That's 3S. Tapos, ano yung mga walang variables dito? Meron tayong, ano pa hindi ko nagamit? Ito. Plus 3, plus 4, plus 7. And that is 67. So, yung gagawin ko dapat. Dapat, I should have, lipat ko po dito sa other side kasi wala na tayong space. 67 minus 7. Nilipat ko po si 7 para masolo si 3S sa kabila. That should give me 60 equals 3S. Divide both sides by 3. That should give me S equals 20 centimeters. I am looking for, always double check the final question. How long is the shortest side? So, shortest side is S. Okay, tama na to yung answer natin. Minsan po kasi habang nagso-solve kayo, akala niyo yung nakuha yung sagot yun na yun, tapos iba pala yung hinahanap. So, always double check. Hindi po kasi maganda na isang bagay na pinaghirapan mo, yun yung i-offer mo, tapos hindi naman pala yun yung hinihingi sa'yo. So, hindi lang maa-appreciate ng pinagbibigyan mo. So, always double check. Kung ano po yung hinihingi, yun po yung ibigay. Hindi po sa lahat ng oras ay maganda yung may sobra, lalo na sa math. Dapat po walang labis, walang kulang. Sapat dapat. Sana all. Okay. How about item number 9? Siyempre habang may time, dapat hugot-hugutin tayo. Sakit na nga sa ulo ng math tapos boring pa, di ba? So how many containers each occupies an area of square meters can be stored in a 952 square meter warehouse? Hala, ano yan? Imagine ninyo na meron kayong warehouse na paglalagyan nyo ng boxes. But you have 952 square meter. Medyo trick question po ito. So imagine ninyo na yung warehouse niyo, yung floor plan po ng warehouse ninyo. Ganyan, square. Ay, hindi siya square. Parang rectangle naman yung drawing ko. Ayan, o yan, square na siya. So, ano po ba yung ibig sabihin nito? So, yung area natin, ibig sabihin yung nandito po sa loob, yan po daw ay magkano pa bang kulay? 952 meter square. Ay, hindi siya kita. Pangit ng kulay na ginamit ko. Sandali. Palit tayo. I think okay na yung dark. Trick question po ito. Pasensya na po. How many containers each occupies an area of square meters? Wala po siyang nilagay na value. So, hindi po niya nilagay dyan. Actually, you have 1 square meter. Yan dyan. Kapag wala siyang nilagay na value, di ba po 1? So, ilang square meter yung kaya mong ilagay dyan sa 952 square meter na warehouse? Ano po ba yung ibig sabihin ng 952 square meters? Paano po ba kinukuha yung area ng isang square? Can you still remember? Paano kinukuha yung area ng isang square? Mayroon po bang nakakaalala ng ng area ng isang square? Hindi po. Yung 4S po or 4W is actually your perimeter. So what happens here is, kung meron kayong S, dapat yung perimeter po, that is 4S. Pero yung area is S squared. But that's not what matters. So kung ilan man po yung value na yan, ilang maliliit na 1 square yung kaya nating pagkasyahin dyan sa loob? Ilan kaya? So kung yung entire area mo ay 958 na meter square, ilan kaya yung mapagkakasya mo na 1 square meter dyan? The answer po, this is a tricky question, is actually just 952. Ilang maliliit ng square ba? Yun po kasi yung definition ng area natin. Sa area natin, halimbawa, meron po kayong, this is another arbitrary area ha. Halimbawa, meron po kayong, say, a square that has a length of, maglagay tayo ng 3. Kung 3 ito lahat, yung perimeter po nito ay 4s or 12. Pero yung area po nito ay s squared or 9. Ano po ba yung ibig sabihin nito? Ibig sabihin po, kaya natin siyang hatiin kasi 'di ba 3 units siya. Kaya natin siyang hatiin into 3 parts. Ganyan. Which means you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 squares. Yun po yung ibig sabihin ng area. Ilan po yung squares na kaya mong mapagkakasya sa loob ng isang shape na yan? So, yun lang naman po yung question. So, kung ano po yung area ninyo, that is the number of squares na pwede nyo mapagkakasya sa loob. So, that's why dahil hindi naman po niya binigay yung kung ano yung square meters na hinahanap natin, it's just 1 square meter, you simply have to divide 952 divided by 1. So, yun lang po. What if nagbigay siya ng different value dito? Kunwari, nagbigay siya ng, say, 2 square meters. Then what you do is simply divide this with this. Ilang 2 square meters ang mapagkakasya mo sa 952? Yun po sana yung solution dyan. But dahil wala po siyang binigay, it means that 952 na po mismo yung sagot doon because you could practically divide the insides of that square into 952 smaller squares. That's what area means. Okay? So, this is more of to drive home the concept of area. Now, let's try this one. Medyo challenging po ito compared sa iba. How many liters will remain in a 1,000-liter storage tank if 82% of the liquid has evaporated due to excessive heat? Actually, hindi naman na complicated talaga, pero ano po kaya? What's the fastest way to answer this? Parang ano din, parang trick question din siya, sort of. What do you think? How many liters will remain kung 1,000 liters yung storage tank mo, tapos nag-evaporate yung 8.2%? Siyempre, mainit, mag-evaporate, mababawasan yung liquid. Ilan yung matitira? Ayan. So, meron po tayong answer dito. So, what happens is, you have your 1,000 liters, tapos, bawasan natin siya ng 8.2%. Ano po ba yung 8.2%? That is simply 0.082. Now, let's get rid first of your decimals. 3 zeros, and let's move this 3 decimal places, which means na meron po kayong mababawas na 82 liters. But this is what you remove. So, what's left? What's left now is, will remain, this is 1,000 liters minus 82 liters, which is 918 liters. Yung akala mo mahirap siya, pero actually hindi. So, this should be your final answer. So, not all the time na pag percentage question, kung ano yung rate na binibigay, yun na agad yung sagot. Sometimes you have to subtract something. So, you have to double check kung ano po yung hinahanap. Again, kung ano yung hinihingi, yun ang ibigay. Walang labis, walang kulang. So, always double check the final question. Sometimes the last question is not directly asking what you are giving kung nagsasolve ka. Now, let's proceed dito sa my radicals. Yung radicals po kasi was mentioned as something na lumabas tong nakaraan, more of familiarity sa concept, and hindi siya sa combination of radicals. So, let's just review a bit. When you say radicals po, ito yung roots or radicals. Ito po, yung opposite operation of applying exponents o yung kabaligtaran po ng power. So, kapag sinabing, for example, meron po tayong say 2 squared. That's 4. Right? Which means that the square root of 4 will be 2. Well, technically positive or negative 2, but ganyan. Let's just put that positive or negative 2. Or wag na lang para wag kayo ma-confuse. Ayan, let's put it at that muna. Now, let's have, say, how about, ito, madali, 3 squared is 9, which means that the square root of 9 will be 3, whether it's positive or negative. What about if I have, say, negative 2 squared? Then my solution is going to be 4. Ito po yung reason kung bakit sinabi ko kanina na yung square root ng 4 could be positive or negative 2. And the square root of 9 could be positive or negative 3. But what if I have, say, iba muna. Dito tayo sa kabila. What if I have, say, negative 2 squared? Negative 2, cube pala, cube. Anong mangyayari dyan? So whenever you cube negative 2, the answer will be negative 8. But if I will cube 2 raised to 3, that will be positive 8. So what does that mean? What it means is that whenever you are doing the power of something, di ba, you're multiplying it and as many times as the power suggests. Pero if your exponent is positive, kahit anong gawin mo, the final answer is going to be positive. But if your exponent is odd, even pala yung ibig ko sabihin. Kapag even yung exponent mo, no matter what you do, your answer will be positive. Kapag odd po yung exponent, mare-retain yung sign ng number. I'm not saying na kapag odd, nagiging negative agad ha. Hindi po yun automatic. Yung ibig sabihin po, pag odd, you retain the, hindi siya always negative yung odd ha. You just retain the sign. Kasi nga yung 2 cube, odd rin naman yung cube, pero yung answer mo is positive 8. So, depende kung ano originally yung sign ng item, kokopyahin mo lang yan kapag odd yung exponent. Pero kapag even, then positive siya kahit anong mangyari. Now, that is your roots and radicals and, of course, your power. So, this is just to drive home the concept. It means that what if I have, say, what's the cube root of 27? Let's have that. And also, say, the fourth root of 16. So, the cube root of 27 and the fourth root of 16, tapos magdagdag pa tayo ng isa. The cube root of negative 64. Ayan, para exciting. So, the cube root of 27, anong number ba na kung i-multiply mo 3 times ay nagiging 27? So, yung answer ni Toto is correct. This is 3. Paano naman po yung fourth root ng 16? Anong number ba na kapag i-multiply mo sa sarili niya 4 na beses, nagiging 16? So, as Toto has answered, this is actually positive or negative 2, but usually you can just take 2. Okay lang, kahit hindi positive and negative. So, yung 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, 4 times, that's 16. Negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2, 4 times, that's also 16. And the last one, what do you think is the cube root of negative 64? Anong number na kung i-multiply mo sa sarili niya 3 times, nagiging negative 64? The correct answer is negative 4. Ayan, I think quite a few of you are getting it na. So let's have a few more exercises. More practice pa po. I'd like you to master this concept dahil although madali po yung concept, kapag masyadong marami na pong lumalabas na items, nakakataranta siya. So, master po natin muna ito. Can you type the item number muna bago you give your answer para alam ko po kung aling item yung sinasagutan ninyo? Okay? Yes, Sir Toto, okay lang. Normal po yan na nagkakamali tayo sa ganyan. So, i-avoid na natin yan sa future. Hello! Pa-review. Ayan. So, number 11 is, eto po. Yung nangyayari po kasi dito is, we'll just take the positive 7. We'll just take the positive to help things become easier. How about item 12? A lot of you are sharing the answers already. This is 225. Number 13, what's your answer? May dalawa na pong nakapag-share ng answer. Ayan, this is 13. I suggest that you try to memorize the first few na squares. Like 1 squared, 2 squared, 3 squared, hanggang kung kaya nyo 20, paki-memorize na lang po para mas mabilis kayo during the actual test. Hindi nyo na kailangan mag-manual solving. Mas mabilis po kasi kayo nakakakita ng patterns if medyo kabisado nyo po yung mga squaring ng ganyan. Number 14 is 1 to 1. I'm not sure if you're familiar, pero alam niyo ba na may technique pag magmo-multiply kayo by 11? For example, 13 times 11, this is 1, 4, 3. 12 times 11, ano, pangit ng number. Palitan natin, mas exciting. 45 times 11 is 495. May pattern po kasi si 11 eh. What you're supposed to do is, tingnan po ninyo, for example, I have 53 times 11. The answer here is, I will copy the first and the last. So 5 and 3. Tapos yung gitna is just the sum of the two. Yung middle number is the sum of the two. 5 plus 3, 8. So yan po yung shortcut pag nagmo-multiply kayo sa 11. So try niyo po i-multiply 43, ay hindi, pangit. Ito na lang, 71. 72 times 11. Ano po yung answer? You would be getting that kung makuha niyo yung pattern. So 72, copy 7, 2, and then insert the sum 792. Yan po yung shortcut sa pag-add ng 11. And finally, now let's have your item 15, 144. This is simply 12 squared. So 12 po siya. I hope you got a few things out of this. So madali lang naman po. Just need to recall and practice. So I suggest po that if you can memorize yung first few items ng squaring, gawin po natin yan. Now, what do we do sa ganito? In the first 5 items that I gave you, perfect square siya. What if this time hindi na? So, ano na po yung gagawin natin? How do we solve this? Let me show you the first one. So, for the first one, ayan. I could simplify square root of 75. 75 is 25 times 3.